in Eka Northeast and Eka South local government areas of Delta State. We have other local government, 8 local government areas in Delta State, but our focus today is on Eka Northeast and Eka South. We'll also be looking at other areas as well in Delta State and alternative plans where the government has for this very ban. Of course, if there are any plans as well, we will be joined online by Honorable Wilfred Latimor, who is the EA to the governor, executive assistant to the governor on communication, and we'll also be joined by a chieftain in Owa Kingdom, and we have Chief Agbobo Amos. He is the chairman, Eka Northeast Vigilante and Obasogie of Owa Kingdom. All right, Chief Engineer Amos Ikechuku, and he recently retired from civil service in the Eka Northeast Local Government Council. So we'll be having both guests on today's edition of the Republic. So get your phones ready because we intend bringing you on early enough so that you can ask all the questions you want to ask and, of course, get answers as well. It's so good to have you back on the program. Sorry we took a longer break instead of the short break I announced, but we're making efforts to connect with the to the governor on communication, Honorable Wilfred Latimor. All right, and of course, Honorable a chieftain of our kingdom, Chief Agbobo Amos, who is the chairman of Eka Northeast Vigilante and Obasogie of our kingdom. All right, and let's see. We're talking about the ban on Okada in Eka Northeast and Eka South local government areas of Delta State. Earlier, we're supposed to have the commissioner for information today, but luckily and unluckily, fortunately and unfortunately, he's busy planning the event of today. Remember that the former president of Nigeria, Owa-Ekei Jonathan, is coming to Asaba today to commission the state high court. All right, and that's it. So let's see if we can reconnect with her. But let's continue the discussion for that, Sonny. The ban on Okada in Delta State. Is it the right step in the right direction? I'm starting with you, Fon.
Yes, I would say it's a right step. Like we have been pointing out, the challenge is if you go to the bone doctors and you go to hospitals, you will see the number of people that have been sent to those places because of Okada mishap, because of accidents happening around there. So it's an issue that has been happening. So right. Yes, it's a good step.
All right, we have the EA now. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning to you.
Yes, it's good to have you join us once again on Sleek 101.9 FM. This is the Republic. I am the General. Fun and Sonia in the studio with me.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right. We're also glad to have you here, and we're talking about the ban on motorcycles in 8 local government areas of Delta State.
Right.
All right. So we had the commissioner for information on Saturday, and he did mention some things to us on Saturday. Now, let's talk about the plans from the government, the angle of the government. Of course, the commissioner for information told us that they met with the leadership of Okada Riders Association before the ban was announced. Now, apart from the ban being announced by the government, were there other things promised to the leadership of Okada?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Did you get my question? Did you get my question, Honorable? Hello?
Hello, yes.
Yeah, did you get my question? All right, we have to go on a short break. We sincerely apologize, please. All right, we have him back now. We'll sincerely apologize for the network issues. Of course, it's something way beyond our control. But the good thing is that the EA to the governor, the executive assistant to the governor, is right here with us. It's so good to have you back, Honorable Wilfred Latimor.
Thank you very much.
We hope that the network do not take you away again this time around. Thank you for joining us on today's edition of the Republic. And I was asking you a question because the Commissioner for Information on Saturday did say that before the ban was announced or before the date was set to implement the ban on Okada riding in the 8 local government areas that were captured, that they had met with the leadership of Okada riders in the state. And so, apart from the meeting, we want to know whether other things promised the leadership of Okada riders, like ways to cushion the effect of the ban on Okada, more like giving them soft loans or bringing keke and minibuses to just, take the place of Okada riding in these 8 local government areas. Is there any such?
You know that keke riding is a business. It's a commercial business.
Okay.
And like every other business in the country, it is usually initiated by the individuals, except in a situation where government had already made provisions and just invite people to come and take ownership of those keke or items. But you see, the issue is that the effect of the ban is very, very is hard on our people. But even at that, what government is looking at is the securing of life and property is uppermost. And that is why the governor reluctantly, because initially the governor was not willing that Okada should be banned because he knows that business put food on the table of so many people. But looking at the number of security reports linked to Okada riders across some part of the state, like that 8 local government you mentioned, he had no other option than to say, okay, let's do this for peace to reign, for sanity, and for peace and security in the state. So for the issue of what government has in plan for Okada riders and the association, like the Honorable Commissioner said during that interview, he did say that there are plans for government to partner with the private sector to get, these vehicles powered by liquefied gas, and at the same time also try to get some electric vehicles that could be used for public transportation. So, hello?
Yes, what with you?
Hello?
What with you?
Yeah. So get electric vehicle that could be used for public transportation. Sometime last year or early this year, if I can remember, some people came to discuss with the governor on this issue of electric cars. And he was very much interested. And I think they went further by discussing the terms. And I know that any moment from now, that partnership will also yield results. That is the only area government is looking at as far as vehicle is concerned. Then another part of the bargain is that government will now want to invest more heavily on, road infrastructure, connecting community cities and all that, so that keke and other means of transportation can easily get to the people. Because the priority now is how can people move from one point to the other, and how can those who are no longer in keke business be back to business using other means of transportation other than keke, other than Okada. So if the vehicles arrive, maybe the government will ask, okay, if you were riding Okada previously and you were affected by that regulation, please show proof through your union. And by that, if they meet the conditions and requirements, government cannot just import vehicles now and start to give it to people without a proper identity. So those who are properly identified through their Okada Rider Association that is already known to the government, such people may be considered first to have these, vehicles powered by liquefied gas and electric cars to be used for transportation. Those are the two options that are available: the vehicles and doing roads.
All right, and then okay. Honorable.
So those who have also invested previously in Okada business should also see whether there are possibilities for them to now invest in keke business.
Okay. All right, let me take you on the security aspect. But before I do that, let me let the listener know that, yes, you can send in your questions, send in your messages, 091-6200-1019 or 091-6300-1019. Please start sending your text messages. And then the WhatsApp line to send your WhatsApp message is 091-6800-1019. All right, back to you, Honorable Wilfred. Now you talked about security. With the ban on Okada, that's the men's bike. Popularly, that's what it's called here. What about the ladies' bike as well? Don't you think that these hoodlums, these criminals would resort to using ladies' bike doing their criminal activities?
You know that ladies' bike does not have that strength and force that the usual other bigger Okada have. If you look at the structure of ladies' bike, is a bit fragile. It's like the Vespa we used to have those days, something like that, but the smaller shape of Vespa. That is how ladies' bike look like, and it is not strong enough to navigate the terrains that these criminals who are using Okada or motorcycle, to navigate and do their havoc. So I think that for criminals to use ladies' bikes so easily might be a little bit difficult, because for all the reports we've all got from the northern part of the country, where these
okay, go ahead, please.
Bandits used to do their operations. There's no mention of ladies' bike among the various bike that they have identified so far. So I think ladies' bike will be okay. But if in the future we now discover that this ladies' bike is now what they are now using to perpetrate crime, then maybe government will also look at that.
All right. Any other question from the in-house?
Of course, yes, we can see exactly what the government is doing because I personally had a conversation with the police and, of course, the FRSC yesterday, and from the statistics, from everything they've been mentioning, this is a very serious issue that had to be addressed. So we see the importance. But basically, what the concerns of everyone that we have spoken to, that they really have is how do they move on from this? Because definitely we know that it's not easy to change, from just one level to another. So all of a sudden we want to change. It's like a change of lifestyle, if so to speak. So we want to know exactly what are the things. How do we cope with this easily? Any plans at all?
Well, let me borrow from Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when they asked him a question concerning the issue of inflation, hardship, cost of fuel, the liberalization of the naira that has devalued our naira. What he simply said was that, yes, this is hard time, but we are sanitizing the country, and then in the very near future, Nigeria will bounce back to become a great country. Following that kind of scenario, I also want to tell our people that, look, it's hard time, it's very difficult, but we just, because of the security implications of these Okada riders, it has become a menace. People call every day. Police stations are inundated with series of reports of Okada linked activities of criminality. So, and if we continue to allow them to operate, because people, it will help our people to move from one point to the other, and the riders will have money to feed their family, and therefore, some other citizens. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Then some other citizens begin to lose their properties. Some people starve to death. In fact, they even rape. After raping, they jump into the Okada and they disappear. They rape their passengers, divert them to corners, collect their money, take their phones, take their bags. You can imagine a situation where a young woman that was going for an interview with original copies of her certificates in her bag, snatched and taken away by Okada with the money and everything inside. So government cannot continue to allow this to happen because, we want to move from one point to the other. So our people should bear with us, find a way of reaching a point where you can join keke or other means of transportation. For those who have lost their job, we are trying to do our best. I think government will now begin to work harder to ensure that, the arrangements that we are making now concerning those liquefied gas vehicles and the electric vehicles are facilitated so that we can get them here. And they use the union, the Keke Rider Association, to now reach out to those people who are affected, and then they can bounce back to their businesses. But for now, security is very important. The other time we had a conversation here on security, it was not easy. It was a very difficult thing. And also that is happening across the country. And every government is finding a solution on how insecurity can be curbed. Former President Obasanjo just said recently too, that the federal government should do more to secure life and property. And that is the primary responsibility of every government, either the federal government or subnational. It's a constitutional provisions. And if you cannot do it, it appears to be a breach of the Constitution. And you cannot breach the Constitution. Every government must make sure they provide this secure life and property. And that is why in the more agenda of the governor, the letter E in the more is enhanced peace and security. This government take the issue of security very, very seriously, and that is why this decision was taken.
All right, let's quickly take the messages because we have numerous messages. I don't even know if we can exhaust them from the text messages. Now, someone reads, Akpati Ojemechi. Okay, that was for highlights from today. But it just says, good morning, the Republic, good morning, General. The ban of bike in the car land is not healthy in the sense that government did not put anything on ground to cushion the effect of the ban. Well, unless otherwise, and if I may ask, what about those civil servants that use bike to go to work? Are they equally affected? Thank you, General Salami from Waterboard. You heard it from Salami. Please respond quickly, Honorable.
Yes, you see, the ban is not targeted at any particular ethnic nationality, community, person. It was not based on religion. It was not based on any kind of consideration other than to enhance peace and security in the state. So it is not a matter of one particular community. It is for the safety of everybody in the state. That is why the government took that decision. So the issue of the effect and what could be done, I've already explained that. Therefore, civil servants going to work genuinely on their bike, I'm sure I heard the Honorable Commissioner explain that thoroughly to you when you had him on. The Commissioner said that, listen, the ban on Okada does not affect workers, people who are gainfully employed or who have genuine identity that are using it for their own personal, means of transportation. Where it is against the law is where you now begin to collect money. It's not a commercial business. You carry people, drop them at one point, take another person to another point, you collect money. That is not allowed. Then you must also try and have a means of identification. And don't be consistently carrying passengers on your bike under the false pretense that you are using it for your personal interest. No. Because according to the commissioner, when he was with you guys, he did say that, look, the security operatives, they have their own way of investigation. They can answer some questions that you never expected. And if you goof in those questions, it might just lead to arrest.
All right.
And the task force is also everywhere. So if you are using it for your own personal means of transportation from your house to your place of work or to your business place, and you pack it, and when you close in the evening from your work or from business, you take it back to your home. That one is allowed.
All right, Honorable, let's pause on the call now. Let's attend to calls. We would call you right back because we're using alternative means of call, right? We couldn't connect with you with the other means. So let's call you back, please. We'll call you back in a jiffy. All right. I hope that is okay with you.
It's all right.
All right.
Yes, thank you very much.
We'll reconnect with you shortly. And let's speak with Chief now. Chief Agbobo Amos is the chairman of Ikanotis Vigilante and Obasogie of Owa-Ekei. We'll be back. Please stay with us. All right, we're finally back and we have both of them now connected on our line, on our studio WhatsApp. Good morning, Chief Amos Agbobo. Can you hear us?
Good. Good
Yes.
morning, brother.
All right. My name is.
You are welcome.
Yes, my name is the General. I have Fon and Sonny with me in the studio, and you're live on Sleek 101.9 FM. This is the Republic. Hello.
Yeah, General, I'm here.
All right.
You are welcome.
All right. Of course, Chief Engineer Amos Agbobo is the chairman, Ikanotis Vigilante, and Obasogie of Owa-Ekei. We also have the executive assistant to the governor on communication, Honorable Wilfred Latimor. He's still with us. Honorable, can you hear us?
Thank you very much.
All right. Finally,
Yes,
we're
I
here.
can hear you.
Yes, finally, we're here. So, Chief Engineer Amos Agbobo has questions for you. Please, Chief, over to you.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Minister.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I've had a series of questions others are asking in the local government, and the answers, both from the commissioner and yourself, it will become very clear about what I feel. My question goes in this order: is it not necessary before this banning of Okada? There's supposed to be a town hall meeting. You seek the town hall meeting. You seek the suggestions of the opinion. You seek opinions of both stakeholders. Not only a political group or the Okada riders. Don't you feel it is necessary?
Yeah, that was done.
Yeah?
That was done by government. Government met with the leadership of Okada Riders Association on several occasions.
Yeah. Yes.
First of all, the first meeting government had with the Rider Association on this matter was that they should try and fish out the criminal elements in their midst so that Okada riding can continue as a business. But they gave them time and they could not meet up, and the criminality persisted. So all the meetings held with them on how to address the issue could not yield any positive result. That was why the government took that decision.
Yeah, I'm from your answers. That's my own question. I said, the communities will be there, the traditional rulers will be there. They hold meetings. It is not only on this Okada. I'm really into security. The way I was introduced, I am into security.
Okay.
I am the head of the vigilante in the country. In me, personally, Okada riders that are involved in this criminal attitude within our local government. There are many of Okadas we have called them separately at our own level. They gave them tag, they gave them open so that they can have a full identity. But many of these people you see, these people that can smash bags from the banks, do one crime or the other, are not exactly Okada riders. These are evil perpetrators. They just... And we can also divide a means. I suggested one time in our security meeting. Hello, are we together?
I'm here, I'm listening to you.
Okay. I suggested one time the two local government chairmen in the Ikanotis and the Castle. Abavo, Obianima, Okukwagbo, Uteromo, Idumesa, and part of Owoibo. These areas, if by if we want to control these excesses. Because there are forests, people hide there. Why can't they create some roads to intercept one another? If they have enough road, they will intercept it so that any time they run into that hideout, they will not be able. It is no longer safe for them because from one road to the other, they will follow them. So, banning is of initially, we learned that Okada was banned in only 8 noticed. And from the two, what we are hearing this morning is the 2 local governments. These were the areas myself, does it mean that this criminal government is only in the notice? So because we cannot see that we cast out, it's only a pavement that divides the two local government. Yeah. A pavement. Left is right is cast out. So today we are hearing is the 2 local government. So don't we have other means? And like what you said, we are looking about refining gas and electric vehicles. All this is supposed to come in place before the reban.
No, you see, issue of security is not tackled like that. It's a very, very, very serious problem that you cannot allow it to fester while you are making preparations. If it's still at the very minimal level, it's a different matter altogether. But when security has gone to the point where it is now in the state and across the country, you cannot afford to wait. Because the more you wait, the more the damage, the more people suffer, the more people die. So that is why in Lagos State, are you there?
I'm hearing
you. You are hearing me?
Yes, very clearly.
Yes, in Lagos State, where the Lagos State government took that decision, that was what they did. They did not wait to say, okay, let us provide alternative means before we start taking that decision, because the Okada people in Lagos at that time, they were also wreaking havoc in a city like in Lagos. So when they were banned from certain areas, their vehicles were even grounded and destroyed. And the government later now sat down and said, okay, since Okada is no longer operating, what do we have to do? They have to create more routes of transportation for the people to easily, move from one point to the other, which is exactly this state government is going to do.
Yeah, you are saying what the state government is going to do, but we're not talking about the hardship economy in this country. So many parents today, their children from one community to a private school. They registered with the people, they convey them there. On their record, they go there and pick them too. Now, the children, their education now will cease because the people will no longer come to carry them. The means of now going back to their school, they will now fall back to the communities which they are not ready for their children. They will now be changing school uniform. There's so many things. So the condition is what we are saying.
All right, Chief Amos Akpopo, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your questions. And Honorable Wilfred Latimor, Honorable Okada Latimor, let's now attend to messages from listeners now. And this one says, this one reads, okay, I'm trying to get the messages. Good morning, Republicans. I am 1B from Ekukwagbo. Banning of Okada operators in Delta State is a misplaced priority now, as this is not the major problem staring at us now. You don't ban aircraft operations because aircraft are getting crashed without survivors, or ban the use of SUV jeeps because armed robbers are using it for robbery operations. What are the jobs of the governors, agencies saddled with responsibilities to checkmate them, which are being paid for with taxpayers' monies? All right, the message is quite a lengthy one. Let's exhaust the messages before we'll allow you speak on them. Thank you. This one reads, good morning, Slick FM. Good morning, the Honorable. Okay, not the Honorable Commissioner now. He was there on Saturday. We have the Executive Assistant to the Governor on Communication. Firstly, you said ban is to curb insecurity. My question is this. Our leaders are aware of the constant kidnapping in our farms and villages. Does the ban include these places, namely Abavo, Idumesa, Weibu, Tokpo, Terumo, Ekwakbo, and the surrounding villages where our people are living in fears? If no, what has the state government done to tackle these ravenous daily kidnapping? And then the next question, we can't even exhaust them. Is that sad? Honorable, you were supposed to have provided an alternative means of transportation before constituting the ban. Like you rightly pointed out, Okada is the means of livelihood of many families. Some workers, both government and private, stay far away from their places of work. How will they manage? I don't have a problem with your resolution, but my concern is, what have you put on ground? What have you put on ground from Label? Please attend to these questions, please. Honorable.
Thank you very much. The issue of what have we put in place, I think I've explained that before. And then the issue of transporting children to school. Let me also let you know that this regulation also is against the transporting of children below the age of 12 on motorbikes. Once your child is below the age of 12, is not expected to be on the motorbike. And also, pregnant women, heavily pregnant women are not also expected to be on Okada because of series of reports that we have had of Okada problems relating to, women that are pregnant. And also, it also prohibits the carrying of goods or loads on the steering or rider's handle. And Okada must carry one person, not more than one person at a time. And then you must also not carry bulky loads as a private owner on your Okada. You see some Okada, they will tie the front high with goose, back with goose. In fact, the rider will hardly see where he's going to. Those type of things are no longer allowed under this regulation. So I just want to say that so that our people will know that the regulation is not all about Okada commercial business alone. Right. It's also affect private owners. And then, of course, mandatory use of standard protective helmets.
Honorable, we're out of time. We'll look for a way to bring you back on this very topic. We're not done with this. We're definitely not done. We'll look for a way to bring you back in our subsequent editions of the Republic. But thank you sincerely for joining us on today's edition.
Thank you very much.
All right, and have yourself a productive day ahead.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right. God bless you too. That was the Honorable, the Executive Assistant to the Governor on Communication, Honorable Wilfred Latimor. It's been the Republic with the General Umfon, Sonny, and of course we had IFL there. But I see we also have Chief